I'm here today with Tim A. Shaw, artist and co-founder of Hospital Rooms. So hello, Tim. Really great to have you here with us on the research sofa today. Just wanted to hear a little bit about the work that Hospitals Rooms do with hospitals. So over to you.
Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, I'm the co-founder of Hospital Rooms, and I started the charity with my partner Niamh White a few years ago. And we started it after a close friend was sectioned. And when visiting her in an inpatient unit, we just thought, surely these places can be better. So we bring artists and mental health service users and staff together to rethink how these quite clinical spaces can be more interesting, how art could be useful, and how they could be inspiring. And we have maybe 6 artists per ward, and they create 6 unique large-scale artworks that completely transforms the unit environment.
And have you got some examples of sort of that you could talk about of how people have felt that it's transformed the environment for them?
Yeah, so I mean, as an example, we worked in one medium secure unit where there's a corridor that people used to call the Green Mile that now has a huge video piece at the end of it that just feels very separate to a secure environment. And then at the bottom of that corridor, there's a 12-meter long mural of an amazing woodland scene by Hannah Brown. And again, it feels like she's completely brought the outside in. It's quite transportative and quite transformative. And then there's also a work by Lothar Goetz in the TV room in one of the medium secure wards that is, which is really interesting because just down the road at the Towner Gallery, he's created the most incredible mural that covers the front of that space that's famous for that in that part of the country. And I think it's just something really special that they have their own unique artwork for that TV room there. And I think the main things that came out of that project was just these increased feelings of self-worth, and also that a lot of patients who hadn't necessarily met artists before realized that they weren't all posh, pretentious know-it-alls, and were actually sort of human beings. And I hope that there's a bit of warmth that came from that too.
Yeah, and when we were discussing before we started this interview, you said that your work was co-produced in combination with the service users. Can you tell us a little bit about that, how that works?
Yeah, so at the beginning of every project, the artists, they come and see the unit, see the spaces, meet everyone there. We do evening gatherings with staff. We used to do that in a pub. Now we're doing that on Zoom, but we all have a drink one evening and talk about the art together. We do workshops with service users. So, really, really cool things. It could be painting or collage or drawing, but we've brought in a live owl to a women's rehab unit and done live owl drawing. We've done squid printing. We've done animation workshops, all different kinds of things. And it's not just a fun, creative session. It's also a really good way of talking about, what's this space we're in and how can the art do something here. And it's also a really good way of keeping your hands busy so that we don't need to ask these direct questions of, what do you want here? Because what we found is if you ask someone directly what you want, we get quite similar answers. We just want wildlife, or we want trees. And having these really interesting conversations while making means we get all these really unique, amazing artworks that are co-produced, and it's really a collaboration that ends in 6 really special things within one ward.
It sounds like it's a fantastic initiative that's really enjoyable both for you and for the service users, for everybody who uses that space. And you said earlier, it's also been beneficial for the people who come to visit the people within the hospitals, feeling more comfortable.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And we, there's a lot of artists we work with may have spent time in an inpatient unit themselves, but certainly some have family members who have, so they understand that feeling of either being an adult or so often being a child going to visit a family member, and how scary it can be, especially if the walls are quite bare and it feels not very welcoming. So we found that the artworks made for family rooms, or the entrances to wards, can be so important. That first impression can either mean that you don't mind going back, or it's not such a scary place. Or sometimes the artwork could be a conversation starter if it's quite hard to, talk to someone when you're in a really difficult time in your life. So those areas and spaces that are a crossover between the ward environment and the outside world are so important.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the work that you've done? Anything you'd like to highlight, or in particular, any particular projects you've enjoyed?
Well, I mean, we love doing the physical projects, and we're really glad that we're getting back to doing all those physical projects. But over the last few months of the summer 2020, we've started a digital art school. So it's a once weekly art school on Zoom. All mental health units can join for free. You could take part, you could join in live, or you could watch recorded sessions, and you could sign up on our website. And we have some of the best arts educators and artists in the country leading them. And it's great fun. So if you want to join, everyone's welcome. So please join our art school at hospital-rooms.com.
So thanks so much for that. It's just so brilliant to hear all the work you're doing, and to hear about your online art school that you've been doing during the time when it's been hard for people to do things physically together. And it's just great that those initiatives haven't stopped and they're still carrying on. So really, really pleased to have you here today and to hear about all the good work you've been doing. And thanks for joining us on the Research Sofa.
Thank you for having me.